am aligned with spirit, with spirit. I am aligned with spirit, with spirit. With spirit, with spirit. Ooh. We are all made of love, divine oneness of God. Aligning our spirit, our souls are aligned with God. That felt good to me. Ooh, okay. All right, Joe. I'm going to sing a song called You Are God. When I'm lost, can't seem to find my way, He walks beside me, only He knows the way. And when my burden seems too heavy to bear, I keep on working 'cause I know that He's near me. I once thought that material things would make me happy, but no peace did they bring. Caught up in thinking that this world was a way. Now I know the truth 'cause I rejoice every day. You are the light of my life,
the joy of my life.
You made a way out of no way, God. What would I do without you?
The light of my soul, my soul.
'Cause all that I am is you, nobody but you, only you.
The air that I breathe.
God, I can never make it without you showing me that you are all that I need for me. Come on, clap your hands if you feel it. When I'm sitting in the dark, I have nothing to fear. That's where I go to pray. That time that's been chosen just for me. Blessed by His grace, I follow your lead into the light. All my answers are there. My joy is to find my way back to you. Everlasting peace is there where you are. The joy of my life. Today, I can say that you're the only way, God. There's no me without you.
Light of my soul.
And I thank you for me.
My soul.
don't worry about a thing, 'cause he's in control. And our life is in his hands, so don't you ever let go. You are everything he needs. Oh, he will set your soul free. And when it comes down to victory over the light inside his soul, you see you are the joy of my life.
Joy of my life.
Today I can say God is the only way. You are the air that I breathe.
The light of my
Oh
soul.
yeah, my soul. All that I am is you. Nobody but you, only you.
The air that I breathe.
Lord, I can never make it without you showing me that you are Judy-Ann. Yeah, everything I need for me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you're the joy of his life. You're the light of my soul, Lord. You're the air that I breathe, yeah, oh yeah. Everything I need for me, yeah, yeah, yeah. You are God. You are God. You Thank you.
Okay. We just had some church, as the old folks used to say. That warrants another, let the church say, amen. And so it is. Oh, my. This has been quite the journey. I came here with a story today, and I'm not going to give you that story. I'm going to give you a different story. You've got a friend. This is an emotional moment, and I'm going to just stop right there. I don't even want, because anything I tell you right now, it would just be that, a made-up story. The truth is, you've got a friend. I just got back this afternoon at noon from Omaha, Nebraska, where my husband and I went. Our second grandson was named valedictorian of his class. Out of 386 students, he is the #1 student. Last year, his older brother was the #1 student, and he graduated and was accepted to Harvard, Yale, and MIT. He is at MIT and just finished his first year. The second one was valedictorian yesterday, and he is going to Harvard, which is 2 miles from where his brother is. Now, I take no credit for that. They have fabulous parents. And what I noticed was they have this amazing network of support. You talk about you've got a friend. It's very few young people that graduate and they have both their grandfathers there and their fathers there and both their uncles there. Come on now. See, it takes a village to raise a child, but it sure helps if the bloodlines are present. And I saw all of these men holding these young boys up. And last year when my grandson accepted, he stood at the podium and he said, when I came to this school, I looked at the Hall of Fame and I got angry and then I got inspired because there was no one that looked like me. And I decided I was going to change that. And when he finished his speech last year, he turned and pointed to his brother and said, "I've warmed it up for you." And his brother acknowledged him this year like, "Well, thanks. I don't like public speaking, but I'll do it anyway." Now, you've got a friend. I said all that to say this. We went there and we were going to stay in base housing, and the daughter calls and says, "A water main broke and we need to go to a hotel." Okay, we go to a hotel, and it was called a microtel. I didn't know what microtel meant till I sat on the bed and could touch the wall. And I said, "Well, this is not good." And they said, "Well, the water main is fixed, so you can go on base." We go on base, again, this second room now. We unpack all our stuff. We sleep. Next morning, no water. They cut into the water main again. Pack all our stuff up, load it into the rent-a-car. We start the process of looking for a new room, get another hotel. But before we did that, my husband went to turn the key in and say, "Okay, we're leaving. You don't have any water." They said, "Well, you can stay. We won't charge you." Look, if you don't have any water, we can't stay. The man comes in and says, "Oh, we just fixed that water main. You can't wash your teeth. You can't brush your teeth, but you can flush the toilet and take a bath." Mother said, "No, that's all right." We don't want any water that's not that safe. So we go to the third hotel. But what I found interesting, I was plagued with this title, "You've Got a Friend," because everywhere I went, there I was. Those issues that I drug with me when I left here, they were there. And then I had this conversation, well, you do have a friend. I remember being young and saying, "Oh, this is my friend and that's my friend." And my mother said to me, "Look, if you have 3 friends, true friends in a lifetime, you consider yourself rich." But what my mother did not tell me was, you came here through a friend, by a friend who lives, breathes, and has its full expression in, through, and as you. She forgot about that friend. Now, growing up in the Baptist church, I was taught to fear God. God's gonna get you. God's angry if you have any. And I'm thinking, this dude needs some anger management because he just really off the chart. You know, the whole conversation was God was angry, have no other God before me, the wrath of God. And it was just like, how am I going to be in relationship with a God that's that bad all the time? You know, and that was the whole conversation. And somehow, I never believed it. So when someone asked me years later, "How did you get into this thing called religious science?" Let me tell you something. I didn't get into religious science. It got into me. Because I wasn't buying the story about that angry dude up in the clouds waiting on me to mess up. You a sinner born in sin, you gonna die in sin. I'm not thinking that's just so true. But I realize that that God of fear serves some people. You know, your belief is just a vehicle. Some of us are driving Fords, others are driving Lamborghinis. But your belief is just a vehicle that you ride on your journey in. That's all it is. It doesn't make it right or wrong. We're all on a journey. And if you believe God up in the sky punishing you and waiting on you to mess up and beat you about the head and shoulder, that's okay. I obviously have a better relationship with God than some folks because my God doesn't beat me up. I have a friend. I went to Scripture and I looked at this and I said, "Oh, this is rich." And it came out of the book of Proverbs. And Proverbs 3:5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and rely not on your own understanding." That's why I said I had a story when I first came in here, because I was relying on what little Judy-Ann could see. I wasn't acknowledging that I had a friend. It goes on in the 8th chapter of Proverbs, and it starts out, the Lord created me as the first of his creations before all of his works. He created us. We was here first. You know, as I say when I pray, you know, I'm part of that slipstream of God's goodness. Whatever God is, he slipped a little bit of it into me. That compassion, that intelligence, that wisdom, a whole lot of perfection and wholeness. He just let that be all of me. And he tucked the essence of who he is in me. And let me tell you how I know that to be the truth. In homeopathic medicine, they have what's called tinctures. And tinctures are what they use to treat ailments. And what they do is they take an antidote, a few drops of it, and they mix it with water, and they cut it like one drop of the pure essence with a whole bottle of water. And they keep diluting it and keep diluting it until what's left is a trace. And they've tried to figure out, well, how do these tinctures work? How do they cure asthma and some of the other things? And all it is the essence of what was. They took a drop and they diluted it 50 times. And then they took that and they diluted it again and they diluted it again. And by the time you get it, they have what they call the essence of what the original piece was. That's God. All you need is the essence. See, in order for God to show up as all these unique, beautiful expressions in this room, it had to take the essence of itself and stamp it into you and call it unique. And it sent each one of us with a different type of essence. For the essence that is mine may not be JJ's. It may not be someone else's. It may not be Susan's. It may not be Jasmine's. But nonetheless, it's the essence of God. And that's the only way God could keep us whole, perfect, and complete, was it had to do that little slipstream and slide a little bit of itself in each one of us. I look at this essence, and you have a friend. When I was troubled earlier in the week, I sat in what they call the dark night of the soul. And in the experience of moving from hotel to hotel, there I was with that essence of God. And for a moment, I forgot. And then I realized something. I was on vacation. But guess what? God don't take no vacations. God has never left me with a babysitter. God don't say, go over to your grandmama's house and I'll be back after we party this weekend. God don't go on sabbatical and leave you to your own devices. And then I started thinking, oh, wait a minute. God is always there. All I have to do is remember who I am and whose I am. Let me say that again, because I know I'm just talking to myself. All I have to do is remember who I am and whose I am. That's, if I don't say nothing else, y'all got that. God does not go on vacation. God doesn't take a sabbatical, leave you somewhere unattended. That's a story that we make up. That was a story. I had made up this story. Lord, I'm out here. I'm just trying to do this thing called ministry. Oh, Lord, what is it? Please just show me a sign. And guess what? The door opened and all y'all walked in. And I said, well, Lord, I guess if I asked for a sign, you sent one. Because I was fully prepared that this is a weekend and everybody's going to be somewhere with a rib bone, a hamburger, a veggie burger, and their favorite cocktail. It's not that funny, Jasmine, but it's okay. But what I realized is, as soon as I acknowledged that I have a friend that's never gone on vacation, never forsaken me, never left me alone, even when I wasn't doing what I thought I should have been doing. You know, in my heyday, you know, it's good when you feel really good. You be talking about, ooh, God is blessing me. Oh, we acknowledge God is there. God is blessing us. But on your nay day, when everything you touch starts to crumble, it doesn't feel right, it don't look right, and as I say, the world is not doing what I want it to do, we forget God is still there. Yet the key word is what I want it to do. And I, you know, being Miss Bertha's baby girl, I had these ideas about how I think the world ought to work. And then God shows me the truth. And God always has what I call a much bigger idea of me and of you than we could ever have of ourselves, because all I know is where I've been. I can't see down the road. Oh, I know what kind of cars I've had in the past. I know what features all those buggies had on them. But we don't know what this new vehicle is going to have. So we're riding through life on our journey, and then we realize, wow, God is always there. It says in this thing called you, your endeavor then is not so much to find God as it is to realize its presence and to understand that this presence is always with you. Nothing can be nearer to you than that which is the very essence of your being. Your outward search for God culminates in the greatest of all possible things. The greatest of all possible discoveries. The finding of God at the center of your own being. Life flows up from within you. Let me say that again. Life flows up from within each one of us. See, life is not going to flow onto us. It flows up from within us. So I'm going to invite you to repeat this just so in case you had that human moment and you forget who you are and whose you are. Repeat after me. I know that my search is over. I am consciously aware of the presence of spirit. Now, y'all saying that like you don't really believe it. Let's say this again. I know that my search is over.
I know that my search is over.
I am consciously aware.
I am consciously aware
Of the presence of spirit.
of the presence of spirit.
Yes, it is that conscious awareness. The operative word is conscious. God is always there. But are we always consciously aware that you have that friend, your first friend, your friend that in the midnight hour, I don't care what you've done and how ugly you have been during the day, you can go there and God's still going to love you right where you are. When you have done something and you feel really small and ashamed and you don't know what to do, you don't even know how to start to apologize, God is still going to love you. Because when the clock strikes midnight, it's a brand new day. You get to show up and the slate is clean. That's the only friendship I know where there is no residual ill feelings. So I thought about that. Well, when I'm consciously aware of the presence of spirit, Howard Thurman came to mind. And Howard Thurman said one of my favorite sayings is, keep fresh before me moments of my most high resolve. Those are the moments, because it comes in just that. It's not no whole day of your high resolve. He said, keep fresh before me the moments of my most high resolve. Let me define one of these moments, what it looks like for me. I have had those moments when it's real quiet, just like this. And it's like I can almost feel God kissing my cheek. Then I look around to see if there's something there. That's that most high resolve, when my beingness and my intention are aligned, where I am totally aligned with spirit. I have no need, no want outside of myself. I am right there. I am safe. I'm not afraid. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I don't have any of that conversation. That's that moment. And I'm going to use this term lightly. When the roommate in your head is not talking. Now, I introduce you to somebody that you probably didn't know what to call them. You know that voice that's always talking about, "Ooh, did you see what she had on? You know, I don't like this girl. I need to lose 5 pounds. You know, That's the roommate in your head. That's not you. But it's the roommate. Now, we'll talk later at another time about getting that roommate out of your head. Because, see, that roommate gets in the way. That roommate keeps you playing a small game of life. That roommate is the one your mother was talking to when she said, "Well, who do you think you are?" And your response was, "Nobody." No, I asked you, "Who do you think you are?" You tell them, "I am a reflection of the divine grace of God, whole, perfect, and complete." Don't ever let your children, your grandchildren, the child down the street tell you that they're nobody. Own your greatness. You have a friend. Don't try to be small. If you look at all the people that we admire and have ever admired, none of them were glorified for playing small. Mother Teresa, she wasn't glorified for playing small. Mother Clara Hale wasn't glorified for playing small. Paul Robeson wasn't glorified for playing small. And this weekend, we know who we are, we know whose we are. We need to pay a little honor to how we got here and the shoulders that we're standing on. So this is where I'm going to weave in a little history about your friend. In 1865, as you all know, Lincoln was assassinated. Civil War was coming to an end. In South Carolina, there were some freedmen, and these were slaves. They had like 257 bodies that they scooped into an open grave. And these freedmen and missionaries and school children got together and cleaned up this burial ground. And this became the foundation of Memorial Day. Y'all didn't know that, huh? Mm-hmm. And see, that's one of those little facts that folks don't tell you about. It was the freedmen, those ex-slaves that said, these people that have fought in this war deserve something better. That became the foundation of what we now celebrate as Memorial Day. It was initially, and they did it then, it was May 1st. Later on, it became the last Monday of every May. So we run around here celebrating Memorial Day and, you know, the soldiers, but we don't know where it came from. And what I know was way back in 1865, I had a friend because it sent some folks to fight for a new United States where we could all sit here intermixed and it'd be okay. So I am reminded that in the archives of history, I get to do what I do because my father was a veteran, my husband is a veteran, and if you have had a veteran in your family, please stand up and call out those names, and let's pay honor to those men and women that have stood the test of time. Ronnie, Ulysses Jones, James Holmes, who else? Pollard, Edward Palmer, Ernest Ledet. Yes, Esther Palmer. Any other veterans? Earl and McCoy White. Eddie Holt? Oh, Cole, okay. And my husband who's back there? If he doesn't stand up, y'all gonna see me lose my clergy cloak up here. This 3-time Vietnam veteran whose mother had the pleasure of seeing 5 of her 6 sons in armed forces at one time. And the only reason she didn't see the 6th one was he was too young. Anyone else? Vaughn, I know you were military. George Henderson. Great Uncle Harry. Thank you. So they may not be here. Wait. Don't get too happy now. Let your little hiney hit the seat. We are going to give, who? Oh, Darren, where are you? We have our own veteran here who is probably one of the more recent veterans. We're going to rub our hands together and we're going to give all of those veterans, those men and women who have lost limbs, who have lost lives, we're going to give them a standing ovation. And we're going to clap like we mean it. Absolutely. You may be seated. I do not believe in war because in war, no one ever wins. I don't believe that there's a mother that raised her son somewhere to kill my son. I believe that war is the result of our human frailty, and that frailty I'll call fear. I'll call it greed. I'll call it needing to think we control something, we running things. But what I am proud of is the men and women who went to protect us. So that is what I applaud. And I'm sure, as some of you know, most of these people that go off to war are very young. Very young. And I belong to a couple of organizations where we do some things for veterans. And one of the things that a lot of America does not understand, that the military was good at dealing with men who have gone off to war and come back. But now we have women in war zones. And women physiologically and psychologically are geared different. And it's presenting something else. They didn't even have the infrastructure a couple of years ago to deal with women coming back from war. But what I know is, talking to some of these women, they too have a friend. For the same God that watches over each one of us is watching over them. And I stand here in my humanness, and sometimes I say, I don't understand. And I have to sit with that, because I don't know that there is a way that we'll ever understand war. But what I understand is my friend. That trace element of God that lies at the center of my soul. And this is what I said to my grandson yesterday. I said, my desire is that you go away to school and help create a world that works for everybody. That everyone has clean drinking water. That there's no more war. That we live in a world where people, children, the next generation, don't have to suffer that disease called war. I don't want my grandchildren to go to school to just learn to make a lot of money. I want them to be change agents. Our generation, we did the best we knew how, and it was good. We're passing the torch to the next generation. And my desire is that they continue to create a world where blacks and whites, Latinos and Asians, people across the pond can worship and celebrate as they choose, and female children aren't being molested, and human trafficking doesn't occur. And people say, well, that's a lofty order. We are lofty people. It says so in Proverbs. God created us first. We're intelligent. We need to use that. We need to encourage our children to use that. Encourage them to step into the essence of who they are, so that they're not out perpetuating something that didn't work for us. Now, I'm taking down my soapbox opera. I'm going to leave you with this about your journey in life, whether you're riding in a Ford or driving a Lamborghini. It doesn't matter. The truth is, all of these vehicles require the same basic things. They need a source of fuel, and they need to be roadworthy. Because we're all on this thing called our journey. And it might help if you have an idea of the direction in which you're going. That's what Howard Thurman said, keep fresh before me moments of my most high resolve. What is your intention? Where are you headed toward? Because what I know is your intention is unique. It's you. Back when they believed the world was flat, and if you sail long enough, you were going to fall off the edge. But guess what? Somebody didn't believe that. He stayed on his journey. And he didn't spend time trying to refute the flat world. Because just because they said it flat didn't make it flat. He stayed on his journey, and he sailed joyously around world. And that's why I say, that's what we need to do. Stay on our journey. If people tell you it's not possible, that doesn't make it not possible. It makes it a conversation they are having. Doesn't make it true. When one man made up his mind that the world was really round, he did not resist the flat world because he knew they were just some words. He set out to sail around the world he knew would be round. Through his acts of faith, he discovered the truth about the round world. You have discovered the truth about spiritual universe. See, everybody don't know that, because if they did, all these seats would be full. You have discovered the truth about a spiritual universe. You don't need to spend time trying to convince anybody else. All you need to do is keep sailing in your spirituality. Because other people got a God up in the sky that's angry and mad, and you don't. You don't have to refute that. Keep doing what you do on your journey. Live your life out loud. And when you are like me and you have those moments and your humanness kicks in, remember, God ain't on vacation. And he didn't leave you with a babysitter. Y'all are not at grandmama's house. You're in God's house. And God is always in you. In my Father's mansion, there are many rooms. If it were not so, I would not have said it. I'm Miss Bertha's baby girl. I love you. Go out and gather evidence that you've got a friend. Peace.
And trouble,
Better quit.
and you need a helping hand, 'cause nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of him, because he's right there. Brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out his name, 'cause you know exactly where he is, 'cause he'll come running to see you again. Judy-Ann, you've got a friend.
Look, I have told JJ she gonna make me lose all my godliness. I'm gonna get my ministerial card pulled for choking her. I'm up here trying to be cute. She got me crying. It doesn't take much, but thank you for being here. As JJ, thank you so much, my sister.
Yes, honey, yes.
That was unrehearsed, I'm sure. Or you just kind of
I
put.
just made it up.
See, some folks better by accident than others are by plan. I know folks that get paid and can't do that. Okay, now that I am unraveled, we are going to go into prayer. And this is what I invite us to take into prayer. Our own personal relationship. As my practitioners move this way, I'm going to invite them to come all the way down front and reflect this love out to you. And Sister JJ is going to lead us in a song, and we're going to go into prayer. And what I want you to take is, what is your relationship, your spiritual journey, and your relationship with the divine? Your friend. Are you calling on your friend? When times get tough, do you go into your story or do you call your friend?
Let me walk to the banks, to the river of love, where the river runs deep, baptized in the one, where there's no separation, the light is always seen, honoring all the differences. The truth sets us free. By the Father God, there's a healing going on. By the Father God, there's a healing going on. By the Father God, there's a healing going on. I say, oh, you rock my soul, yes. I say, oh, you rock my soul, yes.
I wade into this rich consciousness of God that swells up around us like a mighty tsunami wave. Oh, I hear the angels sing. I see the stars in a sunlit sky. Oh, the tears of gratitude cleanse my soul, and I remember God has kept its word. That omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent source is infinite possibility made manifest. That in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was God, and it is to this day the presence, the grace, the truth, the power of the one living God, that eternal, ever-living presence. And as I recognize that I am a slipstream of the DNA of God, I know that God speaks through my mind and hums through my voice, that God loves through my hands, that I am the epic center of God's goodness, and God has no circumference, that each one of us is the center of God, and its circumference is infinity, that the Father withholdeth nothing from no one. I recognize that we tap into a wellspring of wisdom, love, compassion, truth, and divine intelligence. So it is from this place that I can declare, decree, and know it to be the truth, that on this day, the 26th day of May, 2013, that each one of us is whole, perfect, and complete. For we each have a friend that lives within the center of the soul. A friend that is ever present, waiting to be acknowledged and called consciously to the forefront. We have our own healer and our own revealer, our own truth sayer and way shower. That is the grace, the truth, the presence of the living God. And today we honor all of our ancestors on whose shoulders we stand. For we know that many gave their life for us to have the freedom to assemble in the grace and presence of the one living God. And for this, I am truly grateful. I'm grateful to know that I live in a universe that is of the Father's making, and that in what appears to be chaos, it is divinely perfect every day in every way. So I take all my blessings, pile them high, press them down, and shake them together, and let them rise up and flow in, through, and as every facet of my being. I know this to be the truth for each one present. For each one of us has a friend. Yes. And each one of us is perfect, whole, and complete. Yes. I know it to be the truth. I said it. God said it. We are made in God's image. For this, I am grateful. I take all of this. I release it into the soil of truth, that alchemy of love and law that always says yes. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is.
Aren't we lovely? Yes. Aren't we beautiful? Angels in heaven, stars in the universe. And so it's true that love will be a reflection of you and me. Aren't we lovely, made from love? with me, all right? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Here we go. Aren't we lovely? Aren't we beautiful? Angels from heaven, stars in the universe. And so it's true that love will be a reflection of you and me. Aren't we lovely, made from love? One more time, come on. Aren't we lovely? Aren't we beautiful? Do you believe it? Let me hear you sing it. Yes. And so it's true. Yes. Aren't we lovely, made from love? Aren't we lovely, made from love? One more time, come on. Aren't we lovely, made from love? Give yourselves a round of applause, yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Coming up now is a slide that says, it's a connection card. It was in your program. Did you get a program? Yes, it looks like that. Please fill in contact information so that we know you're here. And while you're doing that, this fabulous artist has a CD of original works. Have you riding in your car, patting your foot. You can take her home for $12. It is. It's a fabulous CD. Matter of fact, her CD has made its way all the way to Alaska. This asks for your name and email or mailing address or a contact phone number. And on the back, if you have a prayer request, you may complete the request, put this, either way, put this connection card in the collection basket. What we do is we use it to track attendance and to notify you of any changes. So, and if you do not have cash, there is an ATM card in the seat back. It's a green card. And this is what I ask you to do. Take your gift, take your connection card, your prayer request, and hold it over your heart, and let us say this affirmation together. Are we ready? Almost. Okay, we're close. I know that as I give from my heart and soul, it is divine. Let us all, as one, rejoice in this spiritual experience of giving. And so it is. And the ushers come forward. I forgot about these fine veterans.
Light of the world, light of the light, divine grace, you're everywhere. Light of the world, light of the light, divine grace, you're everywhere. When the sun shines through the trees, it brings me to my knees. I realize I am home with God the one. When the sun shines through the trees, it brings me to my knees. I realize I'm home with God the One. With God the One. Light of the world, light of my life, divine grace, you're everywhere. Light of the world, light of the light, divine grace, you're everywhere. When the sun shines through the trees, it brings me to my knees. I realize I'm home with God the One. When the sun shines through the trees, it brings me to my knees. I realize I am home with God the One. With God the One. Hey, hey, hey. Raise our hands, sing with joy. Our light is shining through, and with our praise we hear the call. Our light is shining through. Raise our hands, hear the call. Sing with joy. Our light is shining through. And with our praise, we hear the call. Our light is shining through. Hey, yeah, yeah. Just close your eyes just for a moment and imagine God's radiance shining down on you and glorifying your spirit. Right at this very moment, you are one with God. Feel His presence. Come on and sing it with me. Raise your hand. Oh, light, sorry. Light of the world, light of the light, divine grace, you're everywhere. Light of the world, light of the light, divine grace, you're everywhere. When the sun shines through the trees, it brings me to my knees. I realize I am home with God the One. When the sun shines through the trees, it brings me to my knees. I realize I am home with God the One. Come on! With God the One.
Okay, let's all sing it together.
Raise our hands.
Raise our hands.
Sing with joy.
Sing with joy.
Our light is shining.
Our light is shining through.
And with our praise,
And with our
we
praise,
hear the call.
we hear the call.
Our light is
Our light is shining through.
Our light is shining through.
Raise our hands.
Yeah.
Sing with joy.
Our light is
Our light is shining through.
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 Please lower your hands and repeat after me. There is something